Hey, y'all. Excuse me. Good evening. These lives are getting later and later, I'm noticing. Um, I am still trying to regroup after a very, very busy few weeks. And so rather than kind of like overthinking and being like, this is too late, no one's gonna watch, that's okay. I'm just gonna put it out there. And if you catch it on the replay, then you catch it on the replay. So it is all good. Done is better than perfect. Done is better than perfect. So welcome, everyone. If you watch this on the replay, go ahead and type in hashtag replay. Ask me any questions. And if you're here live, say hi so I can say hi back. All right, y'all. So, what I wanted to talk about tonight, and I won't be here for very long, and I know I say that a lot, and then I'm here for at least 30 minutes, but I am really, really tired. So, I really do need to get to bed. So, I'm just gonna sort of touch on this and then we can flesh this out more if you guys need further kind of clarity on this. Um, Actually, that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about clarity. And I want to submit to you that your desire and pursuit of clarity as you build your coaching business is a crutch. I'm going to say it again. Your desire and pursuit of clarity as you build your coaching business is a crutch. It is nothing but a crutch. It is a trick of your unconscious mind, your inner cavewoman, and I want to convince you of that tonight. And like I said, I may not be able to do the full convincing because it's late and I'm a little sleepy, but I wanted to get on here and at least start having this conversation with you. Okay, so what do I mean by clarity is a crutch? So I hear this all the time from new coaches and women in my community that they are seeking clarity or need clarity or they're not going to move forward until they have some clarity. And so it is my hope that I can convince you that you don't need clarity. Whenever you happen to be watching this, if you watch this on the replay, type that in to the chat. I do not need clarity. Now, it feels wrong to say that, right? It feels weird because so much in our society teaches us that we need clarity first before we can move in on everything. Say what? You don't need clarity, girl. I want to convince you of that. You don't need clarity. Clarity is a crutch. Clarity is a trick of the enemy, like this need for clarity, right? And so I remember when I was in the beginning of starting my business, and especially when, like, after the podcast was launched and before I had launched my first offer, it was like, okay, what, excuse me, what am I going to be, what is my offer going to be about, right? And I spent a lot of time in this pursuit of clarity. I remember talking to my husband about it. I remember talking to people in my community, but not so much just trying to gather information. I was not moving because I wanted clarity. I was stagnant and I was sitting still and I was like waiting for this magical moment when I don't know what I thought would happen. Maybe I thought the heavens would open, or I would get this like divine download into my spirit, or someone would speak a word of like confirmation. I don't know what I thought would happen. Like, honestly, I can't tell you, but I knew that I didn't have clarity and I felt like I needed it. And during that whole time, I was sitting down waiting for clarity. No lives were being transformed, other people's or mine, right? I wasn't moving forward. I wasn't learning anything. I wasn't growing. Like, nothing was happening. It was basically nothing. It was like a whole lot of nothingness. I was just sitting around doing nothing, waiting for clarity. And what I realized was that the clarity was never going to come. the clarity was never going to come. If I continued to sit and wait for the clarity to come. Shoot, I wanted to do this live on Instagram too. Oh well. They're going to have to just, I don't know. Man. Anyway, I have my tripod set up and everything. That's okay. The clarity was not going to come. It was not gonna come if I was just sitting. And I talked about this the other day of like sitting in your purpose versus walking in your purpose. I was sitting in my purpose and I was like, doing all the things, but not actually moving forward. And I was blaming it on clarity. So I was using my need for clarity as a crutch to keep me stagnant, to keep me from moving to the next level. Once I released myself from this need for clarity, once I told myself, you know what? I actually don't know what the heck I'm doing, what the heck I'm supposed to be doing. I have no idea. I know I'm supposed to be doing something. I know I'm supposed to be showing up in transforming lives by coaching. I don't know specifically what I'm supposed to be doing, who I'm supposed to be serving, but I'm just going to start. I'm just going to I'm going to use what's in my hand. Remember we talked about that in Exodus when Moses was being sent to release the children of Israel from bondage. And he was like, who's going to believe me? I can't do this, blah, blah, blah. How are they going to know? And God was like, what's in your hand? Right? So he uses what's in our hand, our unfair advantage, our gift, that thing that we've been given, that way that we're able to show up in the world, right? Like he uses that to help us to get out there, right? So the comment says, I literally just mentioned needing new clarity to my accountability partner tonight. So if I were your accountability partner, Tracy, I would say, no, you don't. Why do you need clarity? You don't need clarity. This whole, I feel like clarity is the most overused word that we use whenever we are really and truly, like truly we're scared and truly we are not sure, we're uncertain about the future. So we say we need clarity. You actually really don't need clarity. I want to convince you of that. That clarity comes in the doing. Clarity comes as we're walking. So if I am, this is about to be a weird metaphor. I'm just going to go with it though. I'm going to go with it because it's late and I can't think of anything better. So if you need to forge a path through a forest, right? If you need to get from point A to point B and that path is taking you through a forest and you've never been through this forest before, would we not say that actually like just starting, clearing the path, kind of seeing what's in our way that's gonna be the thing that's actually gonna get us from point A to point B through that forest, right? Now, if we wait around for like some sort of like clarity of like all the stumbling blocks along the way, all the predators that may be there, we will be safe at our point A. That is for sure. We will be safe. The bears won't get us. The lions won't eat us. We won't fall. We won't trip. We'll be safe. But we'll also be safe and still at point A, right? Like we'll still be there, but we'll be safe. So clarity is really us seeking safety. Clarity is our own, yes, Chisi says, it's your cave, woman. 100% it is. It is. She's trying to keep you safe from the lions, the tigers, the bears, the stumbling blocks along the way in that forest, right? It's uncertain. We don't know what's going to happen. And that's scary. So I'm going to sit and I'm going to wait for clarity so that I can know exactly where to step, right? But the most efficient and the best way to get through the forest is to start walking, and you clear the path as you go. As you're walking, your steps will get ordered. As you're walking, you clear the path. And what's even more beautiful about it is you clear it for the person behind you. But we're not even going to go there tonight, right? Like, you clear it for your clients, right? Like, you clear it for them. But if anything, like, bare minimum, you clear it for yourself as you're walking through this path. Now, is it dangerous? 100%. Are you going to fall? Likely. Are you going to get snagged by a branch? Most definitely. It's not going to be easy, and it's not going to be safe, but you're going to make it through. And then you're also going to be able to, like I said, you've cleared that path for that person behind you, right? So I literally just got off a coaching call with my clients, and I can now, because of the fact that I just like went for it, like went through the forest, I know the obstacles that they're gonna face. In fact, like sometimes I'll bring them up before they've even gotten a chance to mention them, and they'll be like, how did you know that? I'm like, because I'm you, right? And because I went through this myself. Clarity is a crutch. Your reliance on clarity is really just your cave woman trying to keep you safe. And it's understandable. This is not me ridiculing you at all. This is not me ridiculing you. This is human nature. But you don't have to sit in that. You can make a decision that even though I don't see the whole, what's that MLK quote? Faith is, what is it? Faith is what? Faith is not seeing the whole staircase, but taking the first step. I feel like it's something along those lines. It's like something in there, right? Something in there. Staircase. Yes. I knew there was a staircase involved. Y'all know. See, it's not just the Bible. There's in other areas. I'm not always well versed on the specific things that are said. Tracy also says, sometimes I'm just waiting on God to rain on the mat, but keep the mat dry so I know it's him, aka more clarity. Yes. And we put God in this predicament, right? We're like, God, I'm not moving till you give me clarity. God's like, if you would move, I'd give you clarity. You're like, no, but I don't want to move until you give me clarity. And he's like, but if you actually started moving, I would give you clarity. And then we're just looking at each other. It's like that meme of Diddy and the guy in that, that meme where or that gif where like Diddy's looking at the guy's looking at Diddy, it's like, that's you and God. God is like Diddy. He's looking at you like, sis. And you're looking at him like, and he's looking at you like, right? It's like, that's what it is. That's what it is. It's exactly how I'm staring right now. Yeah. It is psychologically, it makes sense, right? It completely makes sense that we would do this, that we would rely on clarity. However, clarity is not necessary. I'm going to say that again. Clarity is not necessary. You do not need to be clear to move. You need to have courage, but you do not need to have clarity. So when we're praying, we should not be praying for clarity. That's a radical statement, because I feel like, especially even in like Christian circles, there's a lot of prayer for like, clarity. Like it's even preached from the pulpit. And if it's clarity for like, what to do in like a domestic situation or something like that, like that's not what I'm talking about. So I don't generalize, right? But in general, when I'm talking about us in the creative process, as being little reflections of God's glory, right? Like he created us to be creators. I talked about this in Consumption to Creation. So go back to that live video from Monday. If you didn't get a chance to watch it or listen to the podcast, because I'm actually going to have it on the upcoming podcast this week. He created us to be creators, right? So when they were in the Garden of Eden and God was like, okay, Adam, name the animals. What if Adam was like, nah, I need some clarity. I'm gonna stay away from some clarity on like what the next steps should be. Bruh, like God would have been like, bruh, I just told you, bruh, I just told you to do this. Like, what? But you need clear. What? So, us saying we need clarity is really us. Like, again, I'm saying this with love. I just told you that I did the same thing. So this is not me raining on you guys and being like, y'all like, no, right? But I do wanna like push you a little bit and like make you think about things differently. Your need for clarity is really you not actually having the faith. That stings. That stung me. And I'm the one saying it. Okay, that stung me. So I already know how. So sit with it for a bit. Sit with it for a bit. I know that that's going to sting whenever you watch this, whenever you're listening. It's a little heavy, right? But it's true because faith is a verb. Like faith is an action word. Faith is an action word. So if I am not moving and I'm literally sitting and waiting for clarity, I am actually implicitly telling God, I don't actually trust that when you say you'll order my steps, that's true. I need to see it. I need to see it first, right? And so again, this is not out of shame. This is out of complete love for you and like desire to help you guys to move to the next level in your life and in your business. But there's a Bible verse. I think it's after Jesus was resurrected. It was Thomas. This I need like a theologian sitting next to me at all times. The one who doubted, right? The one who doubted, right? And he said, Jesus was like, the person, doubting Thomas. You see, I doubted myself. I knew it was Thomas, but I was like, really? Is it really? I knew that. So Thomas, he doubted. He wanted to see, right? Like I need to see the holes in your hand. I need to see this, right? What did Jesus say to him? Jesus said, you see, and now you believe. Blessed are those who don't see and yet believe. Blessed are those who don't see. You don't see it, but you know. Because that's faith. And if we say we trust in God, if we truly say that, like and I talked about this too. Launch out just a little bit. Just launch out a little bit. Okay, mic drop. Just try him. Logging out now, I'm done. Don't log out, girl. Don't log out. Edge is gone. Hurt, bruised. Listen, I know I'm in the business often of snatching edges. I would say my apologies, but I'm not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. But listen, like this is how I had to have my edges snatched. Imagine how I felt when I realized that like, oh, am I like lacking faith right now? Okay. Like that's that is rough. That is rough. But I would not be who I am if I allowed you to do that. So I'm calling you out in love, in nothing but love. Blessed are those who don't see and yet believe. Right? Look, I have had so much change in my business over the last year and a half, 2 years, especially since 2021 started, that I didn't see any of this. When 2021, I didn't see any of this. any of this. I'll give you guys. So I actually hired a business coach in February because I always want a coach, and I had been looking for a new coach after I finished my last coach's program, and I was looking for a new coach. I found my coach. I knew she was the right one for me, and I could not afford her program. I couldn't afford it. I was like, nope, can't do it. So then she was like, I have a payment plan. I'm like, okay, let's see about that, right? Actually, I never said nope. I actually knew that I wanted to do it, but I didn't know how I was going to make it work. So when I learned about the payment plan, I was like, okay, I can do this. But guess what? I only had enough money for that first payment. That's all I had. It's not even like, you know how sometimes you get on a payment plan because you're like, I'm not sure if this is like, I want to have options. I want to be able to, like, if this is not, I knew that her program was for me, but I did not have the money. I was not making the income. I was not even making consistent 4 figures at the beginning of the year, much less 5 figures, which I'm making now, but not at the beginning of the year. I could not. Her investment is a 4-figure investment every month for 12 months. I didn't see it. And I prayed, and I almost started praying for clarity. And then I was like, wait, what am I doing? Right. And so I had to trust that if I joined this program, that I would learn what I need to learn to make enough money to be able to do this and to be able to sustain this. And I promise you, something happened in February was when I joined. And then starting like right away, but really solidifying in March, April, May, I now, because of my clients, I now have consistent revenue to not only pay for her program, but to have consistent profits, which I had a profitable business before. I've always been profitable because coaching is just that kind of business. Low overhead, we're able to be profitable really from the beginning. But my profits like went like this, like right away. Right away. Tracy said, that's major faith. Ain't no mustard seed. Honestly, it felt like just mustard seed because I mean, it was just like, okay, I'm going to pay for this 1 month. I legit drained my account. I couldn't even pay my assistant anymore. I had to cut down her hours because I was like, I can't pay you. And she's amazing. Y'all know Judy. If y'all don't know Judy, y'all need to get to know Judy. Judy is amazing. So she was just like, that's totally fine. And then right away, it's like I immediately knew exactly like the changes I needed to make, not because I knew them before. I had no idea, but I took those steps and then it became clear as I was walking. So I want to convince you, if you have prayed for clarity, my new prayer for you is for courage, for those to take those first messy few steps. You're gonna fall, you're gonna mess up. We're gonna allow ourselves to do that, recognizing that we're learning and growing as we go. And failure is nothing but data, for us. Okay, so again, clarity, you don't need it. Stop praying for clarity. Just stop. Just stop, right? Because God does not learned lessons, exactly. Yep. God does not provide clarity unless we start walking. So I want you guys to pray for courage. Pray for that mustard seed faith, like Tracy said. Pray for that just little snippet of faith to take those messy first steps. Get a crew around you of folks that are doing that as well. Get you a coach that helps you to frame those messy first steps and then just start walking. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. The clarity is only in the doing. The clarity is in the walking. The clarity is in the movement. Clear that path as you're walking through that forest. All right, y'all. I hope this was helpful for you. If you watch this on the replay, leave comments, questions, all of that below, and I will catch y'all next time. Peace and love, y'all.